we're pulling into 793 Bower Hill and getting to see the progress that Tom and Angie have made on this investment property since our last episode.
Welcome to 793 Bower Hill Road.
Hello, guys.
Welcome to our humble abode.
Yeah.
Mount
It
Lebanon.
looks good.
What do you think, Dan?
Looks really good. Definitely an improvement
Entertaining.
from last time.
Episode 2.
Took a couple walls out, took some louvers away, put a beam in, and uncovered this catastrophe. For the most part, the demo's done. Most of the framing is complete, and we're at the MEP rough-in phase.
So what exactly do we have to do to shore this all up?
So what we did is we built a wall on either side of the existing wall and beam, and took out the supporting structures and cut the existing ceiling joists back while maintaining as much ceiling as possible. We do have a little infill we have to fill in, and then we fished this 20-foot long LVL up into place. Over here, we had to open up a little bit of wall. Any longer than this, or if we were supporting a second floor, we'd have to go to what's called a flitch beam, where you sandwich a 1/2-inch steel plate inside of it,
Okay.
right? But this is sufficient for what we're doing. We're only holding up the ceiling.
Yeah, and it's
in
not
that
a
case.
second story. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, so no one's walking on it, nothing like that. We just didn't want any sag in that beam.
Okay.
So-
And this shouldn't sag?
Not at all.
Okay, great.
Not at all.
Perfect.
So once we demoed this kitchen, we uncovered this mess of electric. It was a disaster. So you can't tell now. We did cut out some of it. However, there was, like for instance, this right here was just wire nutted inside of a wall.
Oh, this right here?
Just like that.
Wow.
There's multiple areas where this is done throughout this house.
So that's not any sort of fire hazard? Or
No, not at all. So, it should never be done. You should never bury a junction box. You should always have access to it. That wire was just electrical tape below the cabinet.
This guy right here coming up alongside the plumbing?
Yeah, it was underneath the cabinet. There was a couple other issues, like this was below a cabinet, along with this water line. But the water line was capped. It's safe. The entire first floor, including the lighting circuit, is controlled on all on the same circuit.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to add 7 circuits, pull new home runs into the panel, and we're also going to replace the service in the garage. It's something we didn't have in the budget, but it's something that has to be done.
That's important. So what kind of price point do you think that's going to add to it?
About 5,000.
How about everything else structurally? It's all sounding good?
Absolutely, everything's good structurally.
Okay.
This is what we were left with after removing the brick at the fireplace. We're going to leave this firebox alone, and through the clean on at the bottom, we're going to bring a gas line up through there and set a gas log set in. Everything else will stay. The firebox will stay the same. We might clean it up a little bit. Maybe put a high temperature black paint in there. No, it's in great shape. The brick's in great shape. We're going to put a receptacle above here for a television for the future homeowners, and it's going to be a nice focal point of the living room.
I thought this means that this was going to cost us more money. But Tom, what does that mean?
Switches.
Switches. Double, correct?
Yeah, but there's really going to be like 4 there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quadruple.
So this week, the goal for this week is to get the electric roughed in, finish the plumbing rough in, and get the majority of the drywall replaced. We want to start finishing drywall and patching in walls on Monday or Tuesday of next week
Okay.
to keep us on schedule. We are 10 working days into it.
Okay.
Right, because we
It's a
didn't
lot,
start, we ended up not starting until after 1/2, I think, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, 9 working days.
Yeah,
It's a lot of work for 9 days.
yeah,
This is great.
because TRE does it right.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go. All right. Cruising upstairs.
Yep, yep.
You can see here, nice shot of that LVL. We thought about moving this door access over, but you could still get in.
Yeah.
You know. So the new bathroom.
Oh boy, this looks a lot different.
Yeah.
So remember, it was the whole length down. There was a tub. It was the ugly pink colors from like the 70s or whatever era it was in. Built this wall here, new tub here, toilet, sink, bam. And the whole reason when we get into the other room is because of what we've done with that dinky bathroom that only had a toilet and a sink in there. So we're going to make it an actual master bathroom, and we'll talk about that when we get in there.
Here's another situation where we just had wire nutted wires
Wow, they're just doing that
behind
all
the
over the
wall.
place.
Yeah, and some of these older houses, you know, you call in Joe the handyman and this is what you get, and the homeowner doesn't know any of the difference. So, like Ann said, you know, the tub's going to be set this weekend.
By TRE, yours truly.
I'll be setting the tub. We will be pulling new circuits up here to these bathrooms as well.
Are we reinforcing this a little bit?
No.
That's good.
Come on. Yeah, absolutely. Of course we
Don't
are.
step on the corner. You may go through.
Now, we'll reinforce it, and then we're actually going to level this floor up.
Yeah, right on that corner, you know, with my weight anyway. So this looks good. What all did you change? This was all
Danny, you were being
existing?
This is all
modest.
existing. All we really did in this room is move that wall over 3 foot,
Okay.
or build a wall.
Right here.
Correct. Now, notice what's right in the middle of the tub.
Besides that bottle?
Oh, piece of ductwork.
I'm like, the bottle, obviously.
So what we're gonna do is we'll cut something else in over here, okay? And we're gonna put that one to direct into the master.
Great call.
All we did in these rooms is remove the baseboard and remove the marble window sills. These are gonna be the first rooms ready for trim out and paint.
Okay. What about this floor? This is all staying?
Carpet.
Carpet right over
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
Right over top.
I don't know, Dan, which wallpaper you like better, this one or the other one?
It is a toss-up. This one speaks to me, though.
Moving on to the master bathroom, right? We were able to get a nice size shower in here.
Look, you could have 3 people in this shower if you wanted.
So a couple things happened in this room here over the past week, and our original layout, we were going to have the toilet here, a vanity on this back wall,
Okay.
and the shower over here. We were going to originally have a roll-in shower with no door. With all the ductwork and the size of the joists we have below here, we kind of had to get away from that. We didn't have good options for supporting the floor underneath, so we're going to go with a 3 foot by 5 foot walk-in shower, a rainfall head above us, a wand on this back wall. We'll put a niche in this wall here, and we'll have a curb with a granite cap on it.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
So-
I always like to do a solid curb. That way you can really slope it back to prevent water getting back out in the main part of the bathroom.
As opposed to tile, like in
Yes.
the, okay.
And leaving your touch to it, just like in all of our bathrooms.
I like the granite curbs.
Right on, me too.
I like that a lot too. So, correct me if I'm wrong. When we originally did our walkthrough, you were going to have the sloping, curbless shower, and
That's right.
that's you're saying because of the floor joists and the situation, we can no longer do that.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So another thing that was interesting in this bathroom is we had to put a small beam in.
Right here.
When we took this wall down and actually took the ceiling down, because the roof plane changes, this wall was actually supporting the bedroom ceiling.
Wow.
So
Okay.
we put a small beam in, framed this wall to divide the 2 bathrooms, and moving out into the main part of the bath here, we're going to have a corner vanity with a corner medicine cabinet. So we're actually going to have a decent amount of room to get in and out of the shower. The corner vanity really stops. You know, if we had a regular vanity, you'd be squeezed down to about 16 or 18 inches of space between the edge of that vanity and the toilet. Given the corner vanity gives us like 22 inches of room. So it's a nice amount of room to get in and out of here.
So why are we doing the corner vanity again, though?
Yeah, so
I thought the toilet was supposed to be facing towards the shower.
You're right. So when we went to drill the hole,
Oh boy.
We had a little framing issue down there. It was easier to make that change than open up a bunch of garage ceiling and install headers and all kind of framing details just to put a toilet this way.
Okay, that makes perfect sense then of why the vanity is starting to change and the orientation of said commode.
But as you can see, even losing this, you lose about 4.5 foot of space in this bedroom. It's still a decent sized room. You're still going to get a king size or a queen bed in here and your furniture.
Yeah,
But now
dresser, mirror.
You have the luxury of having an ensuite bath.
You know, it seems like a gamble, but now that you're standing in front of it, I don't think it's eating too much of the room, and I think it's an excellent amount of space. Even if it were to be a little tight, I think any homeowner would gladly exchange that for having to walk out and go to.
Yeah, I mean, your options in the Mount Lebanon neighborhood are kind of limited on having ensuite bathrooms in a lot of homes.
Because they're
So
tighter and they're smaller
if
homes.
they're smaller homes are tighter. I think you'd be hard pressed in this particular location to find that level luxury of a luxury bathroom ensuite actually on your bedroom.
Well, I think we got all the rooms up here.
Think about this. When you come down, you're in your living room, kitchen, dining room, all
Yes.
one room. It's
Yes.
so open. It's such a nice feature to have these walls removed.
Because open floor space is modern. I mean, it's 2024, and that's what people don't want compartmentalized anymore.
Yeah.
Or throwing a big party, and that's a good
Yeah.
social area, but you could still be in the living room area.
So
We still have room for, we're gonna still, you could still put a table here if you're more formal and want to sit down with your family to have dinner.
And the cabinetry, I know we were here, and I forgot to ask this. Where exactly is the cabinetry run going?
the cabinetry is going to run this entire wall and stop just shy of that window.
Okay, so almost like cabinets, like right to about there?
Right there.
Okay.
Yep.
Leaves you a little bit.
Your stove, your range is going to go right here. We're going to have a range hood here.
Oh, nice, and you can vent it right just straight out the back.
Yep. To get our light switches in here, we're going to kick this down a little bit. We're going to have a boxed-in refrigerator, so it'll have a cabinet panel on the side and a pantry cabinet right here next to it. And we're almost where you're standing, right in this area here, we're going to have an island cabinet with an in-drawer microwave.
I like that a lot.
So we pulled up the original floor, and there was water in between the old VCT and the existing Pergo floor.
I was thinking in my mind I could smell a little bit of moisture.
There, yeah. Right now?
Well, I mean, maybe it's residual, but
Yeah, it's residual right now. It'll clear eventually. But that immediately dried. And so it's real dry in here. The furnace is on. So it dried overnight, and all these tiles just popped up.
interesting.
We didn't have to scrape it. It just popped up.
Wow.
We haven't had any moisture come in. So it's staying dry. I'm thinking that maybe at one point, when the original homeowner had the mold remediation work done, they just fixed along the exterior walls, but did not fix it. I think that water was trapped under there for quite some time.
Wow.
You know, what you created, you have a dark, damp place, you have no air getting to it to dry it, and you have the cold floor. So that's what I believe, and I think it just created condensation under there.
Remember, like we said before, we're replacing this because it's ugly and hideous. And then we've decided, I think we told you guys before, or the audience before for that matter, is we were just going to replace some of these blocks, but we're actually going to replace the whole thing.
I decided to put a picture window.
Like a solid window.
Yes, not a glass block. We need 1.5 inches, Dan.
Ah.
We need 1.5 inches. So
From-
we're going to put a small little step in right here.
Okay.
Bring this up 1.5 inches, and now we have a egress window. And this will become bedroom number 4.
So you missed that height by 1.5 inches.
Yes, we do.
Wow. There's going to be a bigger closet than I thought, too. Now, are you doing anything in here? I mean, obviously, you're not going to leave it just block, right? You got at least put the paper, wallpaper in there to match.
The flower.
Yeah. Well, we were just gonna. We can drywall. We'll drywall the closet.
Okay.
And paint it, and obviously put the floor in.
Right.
So 2 things about this room that were really cool when we took the paneling down. One was we have more wire-nutted wires just behind the wall. The second is they were using lamp cord
Wow.
to supply power.
And this answers my previous question about moving this room over a little bit.
Yeah, not really.
That wouldn't have been an option once you start uncovering stuff.
So it's a little dark in here.
Whoa, wait a minute. This is different.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Remember we were afraid that we couldn't?
Yeah.
Now we can.
Okay.
Because
Tell me about
TRE always builds better together.
that. So what was the deciding factor? Because it was FRP.
Oh, it's still going to be FRP.
Oh, okay.
We need to further wall out. We want to hide up all the plumbing.
Oh. It's going to make it clean.
Yeah.
So now you see that they're boxed in and closed in.
Yeah.
Gives you a little bit of storage, right?
Yeah.
Hides all your mechanicals.
But access points, so you could still get in there.
This
right?
is a nice. This is a nice closet here, and then this is going to be all our open shelving. You could like toss your ironing board back here.
Correct.
Washer and dryer still go back into the same location.
Right.
We're gonna clean this up. We're gonna put a washing machine box in here, make it a nice,
Yes.
clean look. So you're not just dumping all your laundry water into the laundry tub.
Yeah.
Brings us into the garage.
See, you got rid of my wind chimes.
Your time.
I did. They found their way into the dumpster. New plumbing, which is nice.
And who's doing the plumbing?
Unfortunately, myself. The main change is coming down here is going to be this panel. So, as you can see, it's a disaster. I mean, it's truly a disaster.
And what's that called?
I mean, this is just terrible. Look at this.
Wow.
Nothing is. We had breakers supplying. These were supplied to nothing.
Oh.
All right. But to run 7 more circuits to the kitchen, we can't do it. So we're gonna replace all this. This is also a fuse disconnect, which is kind of outdated.
Yeah.
Nowadays you use a non-fuse disconnect. So here's the old fuses. But what we'll do is we're gonna put a 150 amp panel in here. To do this service, we're talking around $2,500.
And then to pull the rest of it, where you're gonna hit your 5,000. I think you quoted 5,000 in total for the electric.
Yeah, that'll cost us another $2,500 to $3,000. So, not that my time is free, but I'll do it all for about $1,200.
Yeah, that's a big difference from,
So now-
6,000.
Dan, if we have we can find some other small savings, we may allow to do this floor,
Yeah.
is the
So,
point earlier.
If we do it for $1,200, we go 5,000 over in the electrical, I'm still in a good place.
Because the truest thing, and we talk about this with our commercial construction company, 3 main components, right? I mean, managing people, it's different for here, managing processes and procedures, but what's the biggest thing in business? If you can't manage your financials and your cash flow, then you have no reason to be doing stuff like this.
That's exactly.
And you have to take the calculated risks. So it's important before coming in here, you know at least an idea of what the cost is, and you need to manage your budget. If you can't do that and you go hog wild, it's a liability at that point.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to get the return that we calculated when we originally were looking at this property. So we did talk a little bit in there that, we're gonna fill in these cracks with caulking, right, to make the driveway more appealing. We got to change up a couple things here on the deck. Obviously, that shower handrail we're removing. Remember how we thought with the driveway that was tight when we were first looking at this house? Yeah, it's tighter there as far as width-wise, but look how, so you have this truck here. Look how you have this parking pad. I was able to do a quick 3-point turn with this Explorer, super easy. So yeah, there's a dumpster here. So remember we had the shed here, gone. There was just a bunch of trash and just debris and crap basically here, so all cleaned up. Right before we were ready to list and do our open house, I mean, the goal is to clean this up with some landscaping, but again, it's weather permitting.
We're going to leave the hostas, clean it up, put some new mulch in, do that in a few other locations, and just kind of clean up the outside. And that'll be a wrap
Okay.
for 793 Bower Hill Road.